Earlier I showed you how to take my shots into Photoshop Elements and put them into a certain folder. Now I'm going to load bracketed photos manually, so I'm going to browse to that My Presets folder, and here is a list of the files. So we'll take the first three, 8, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9, and as you can see they're all in .NEF format, which is raw format. When we OK, we're presented with this pre-processing screen. I like to align the source images by matching features to try and get rid of overlaps, or in case the camera moved. Ghosting effects, check that on. If you float over these, it'll tell you exactly what it's trying to do. And reduce noise on the normal exposure and the underexposed exposure. So again, float over it and it'll give you details of what checking that option will do. So I'll OK on that, and it takes the various files and processes them and reduces the noise on the two concerned. And you can see up in this corner of this window, it's actually going to tell us what the file name is going to be. It's going to call it DSC underscore 8567 underscore 8 underscore 9. So we'll let that run. It takes a couple of moments. There's the file name I just mentioned. I'm showing the process of doing it manually initially by picking these three, so that in a subsequent section of these demos I'll show a better way of doing it. And there it's aligning the images and it's merging to an HDR file. This is not a finished shot, it's a HDR file which then must be worked on or tone mapped, and we'll carry a demo on that section later. So we're nearly there, and now it's reducing chromatic aberrations on the merged shot. This, for example, will sometimes you get, for example, small purple edges at the side of leaves, and this will attempt to reduce those chromatic aberrations. So here's my three merged files. Now this is not precisely what your end shot is going to look like. I'm going to save this first of all, and I like to save them into a particular folder of HDR files. I've none in that folder. It's going to call it DSC underscore 8567 underscore 8 underscore 9 .hdr, and later we'll go in to show how to tone map on that HDR file, but I'm going to close that for the moment. And I want to just have a look at the particular shots in the background in the file directory, which we'll have a look at now. So here we are in the file system in my presets folder, and you see I picked those first three .nef files, which are about 10 megabytes big. Now look at the HDR originals folder where I output my HDR, and you can see they are massive files, 37 megabytes per HDR file. Now of course when we tone map it and turn it into a proper JPEG, it'll be a lot less, but the Photomatix process does create these very large HDR files.